So the Chum Bucket has been opened throughout pretty much the entire run of SpongeBob. How?
Hey!
It took Plankton 6 seasons to get a single customer.
I haven't had a customer in years!
Hello?
Away with you! Can't you see that I'm self-loathing here?
Sorry, I just wanted a chum stick.
What?
And even then, the guy was being paid by Karen to go eat there, so he made no money off of that. In many of Plankton's appearances in SpongeBob, he makes negative money. He's so locked in on stealing the formula instead of making his business work, so he's just spending like so much moolah on inventions and stuff.
You never know what trick he'll use to steal me secret Krabby Patty formula.
What a quaint restaurant. I think I will sample their wares.
It's kind of unclear when Plankton opened the Chum Bucket. It's been hinted that it was at the same time as Krabs in the mobile game SpongeBob Moves In, but in the new Plankton movie, he just walked into the Krusty Krab years after and then got the idea to steal Krab's secret formula and found the bucket just laying around. But if we go by friend or foe, we of course know that the rivalry between the two goes way back, and him wanting the formula being something that he has wanted long before the Krusty Krab was opened.
He was going in alone.
Oh, no you don't. This is my turf.
I think not, rag boy!
I can't decide what's canon and what's not. All we know is that the Chum Bucket has at least existed since early season 1, with its first appearance in one of the first episodes, Plankton.
Going to hand deliver it to me personally!
No, no, no! There's no one here.
Don't remind me.
The Chum Bucket is way too big not to cost money. Like, this place is actually huge, which makes sense since both Plankton and Karen also live here.
Good night, honey.
I'm not going to bring up how much actual money everything would realistically cost, cause how would I know, but let's go through what's in here. There is a big dining area, which sometimes is clean in episodes like Enemy-in-Law, where he kidnaps customers to eat here.
Oh good, the lunch rush!
And sometimes it's completely moldy and dusty, like in New Leaf in season 4.
Look at this place!
I'm in Plankton. You ever hear of spring cleaning?
Meaning that he actually cleans this place from time to time. Now, the money spent on cleaning supplies is not like the craziest amount ever, probably, but judging by how he says this in New Leaf, it's still too much.
What's the point? Do you know when the last time I had a customer was?
Actually, I can't recall you ever having a customer.
Well, there he is!
Up until this point in the show, he has legit not made any money. Although the first movie saw him be a bit more successful.
So, you're selling Krabby Patties, eh, Plankton? That's right, Squidward.
Here he has a lot of customers and even sells them bucket hats. Although he does go to jail by the end of the movie, and we do not know how this money was handled in the case against Plankton. Now let's talk about advertising, cause Plankton spends a lot of money on that. We see in Enemy-in-Law that he has an ad in the Bikini Bottom yellow pages.
I'm the founder and owner of the Chum Bucket.
Never heard of it.
It's across the street.
Doesn't ring a bell.
It's on the back of the phone book. Come on, I paid a lot of money for that ad!
In SpongeBob's Last Stand, there is a billboard for the Chum Bucket, and in Plankton Paranoia, he even has a TV commercial.
Where you hiding?
I'm right here! At the Chum Bucket! Come on down and try our new Chum Nuggets!
And this is something we see in the Patrick Star Show as well.
Here at the Chum Bucket, chum comes in 3 delicious varieties. Moist, soggy, and pumpkin spice.
The Chum Bucket even being a thing in the Patrick Star Show would suggest that the it's not the same canon as the Plankton movie, because SpongeBob does not work at the Krusty Krab in the Patrick Star Show yet, so he couldn't have gotten the idea like by walking into the Krusty Krab, because the Chum Bucket already exists before SpongeBob started working there, and SpongeBob was there when he got the idea in the Plankton movie. It's complicated, but anyway, in the Patrick Star Show, the Chum Bucket actually has customers on multiple occasions. In the Season 1 episode Survivoring, there's not even a reason for it, it's just busy somehow. Also in the Patrick Star Show, after Plankton advertises on the Patrick Star Show, it results in customers there in the Patrick Star Show sells out. Since everyone is younger here, it would contradict Plankton never having had a customer before Nat. But yeah, like I said before, the Patrick Star Show is basically not canon, but also it is canon, but still kinda not. It's weird, there's like interdimensional travel and stuff. In Gary's new toy, back in the main show by the way, there is an ad for the Chum Bucket on a bench, and he has so many signs up during the course of the show promoting the Chum Bucket, for example being open for 24 hours in Fear of a Krabby Patty.
What the Chum Bucket open 23 hours? So, that little piece of flotsam plankton thinks he can stay open longer than me, does he?
Sure. I don't know. Why not?
This one gotta be expensive, and in this episode he also prepares a whole psychiatrist office in the Chum Bucket.
Coming for me? No! 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 Stay back!
Wait, where'd you get that piano?
Now, he could just have had the couch and chair in a storage somewhere, but if he got all this stuff for the episode, that's even more money spent on not making anything back. In New Leaf, Plankton changes career paths and starts selling trinkets, which we don't see him sell at all over the course of the episode, as it just leads up to him trying to get the formula.
My diabolical and extremely convoluted plan worked! I should have been a politician.
I never give you the formula!
Plankton has also on several occasions hired employees to work at the Chum Bucket. In Welcome to the Chum Bucket, we find out that every Thursday night for years, Krabs has beaten Plankton playing cards, which was part of Plankton's plan to eventually win SpongeBob.
Please tell me you didn't lose the Krabby Patty secret formula!
I lost you!
What?
I bet your contract, and I lost.
Now, while Plankton does succeed with this, not only does he lose money on renovating the whole restaurant to look more like the Krusty Krab.
Just a few more steps, SpongeBob. Okay, go ahead, take it off. It's an exact replica of the Krusty Krab kitchen.
He also has to pay Krabs $50 just to take SpongeBob back at the end of the episode.
I'll do anything. I beg of you.
How about you give me $50 and I'll take them off your hands?
It's a deal. I cheated anyway.
And that's not even counting all the money he lost in all the games before he eventually won SpongeBob. And of course, SpongeBob don't make Plankton a single dollar as an employee in this episode. Let's go through a few times where Plankton and the Chum Bucket is actually making money in episodes. In Greasy Buffoons, Plankton and Krabs have a grease-off selling very greasy food.
Something is terribly wrong, Squidward.
And it's taken you this long to figure that out?
Here he of course also gets a lot of billboards and is closed down at the end of the episode by a health inspector. Then in Chum Fricassee, Plankton hires Squidward to cook his grandma's recipe, which becomes very popular, with the restaurant being booked up 2 years forward.
Hey, all you bottom feeders. If you've already eaten, well, you might want to make room for seconds. Because we are tasting Bikini Bottom's sensational new upscale eatery, Le Chum Bucket.
But before they can get there, of course, the restaurant is torn down by unhappy customers at the end of the episode. A similar thing happens in Chum Bucket Supreme, where Patrick is hired as an advertiser for Plankton and makes the Chum Bucket popular.
Tastes awful. Yeah, but the slogan is so catchy that we can't stop eating it. Chum is fun!
Chum is fun!
This goes on for a while before Patrick gets tired and quits, and Plankton insults his customers, causing all of them to leave. In Chum Caverns, Plankton digs a tunnel to the underground where he starts selling chum as part of a cave experience, which works.
Quick, get in front of that kid!
This is my fault.
Here we see him actually making lots of money and even having a gift shop. But as soon as Krabs gets down here to give Plankton some competition, Plankton crashes out and throws everything away, burying everyone. Then, in Layman Fortune, Plankton uses fortune cookies to ruin the Krusty Krab and makes all the customers come to him instead.
What did we ever do to those fortune cookies to make them lie about us like that?
Although this yet again fails by Plankton getting mad and revealing to the customers that the cookies were fake.
I wrote those fortunes. They were fakes. Don't you get it? Now all of you out!
Let's go back to the Krusty Krab!
Yeah, back to the Krusty Krab!
He did probably make some money before that. In A Place for Pets, Krabs bans every non-pet from the Krusty Krab, so they all have to go to the Chum Bucket until figuring out that they can disguise as pets and leaving the Chum Bucket. The Chum Bucket gets destroyed in a lot of episodes, probably more than Squidward's house, which is an achievement. And we are not just talking about the walls breaking or something, this place explodes on so many occasions. It's usually at the end of Plankton episodes when his plans have been foiled.
What the?
If Plankton has to rebuild this place every time it goes boom, which is a reasonable assumption since it always comes back, that would cost money. He has some pretty complicated machine stuff in here with Karen and everything, especially in the early seasons before she stopped being stationary on the wall.
Brace yourself, SpongeBob. This is my lab. And this is my laboratory.
Just the amount of electricity that you would have to run all of this stuff is gonna be crazy. I don't even think the customers Plankton gets over the course of the show would cover his electricity bill. Plankton also builds robots and inventions and stuff in every other appearance of his, and they also often get destroyed or like even kept by Krabs in the Krusty Krab. And we have actually seen him sell his inventions to get money before, so that could be like a reasonable explanation, to be honest, to how he's not completely ruined and homeless by now. I don't know how much chum would cost to produce, but even if Plankton almost never can sell it, he sure produces a lot. Now chum is dead fish, so he could be getting it in some cheap, immoral way, which I kinda hope, since otherwise this might cost even more than the electricity. Plankton gives out free chum samples in a pretty smart plan, pretending it's Krabby Patties to ruin its name in free samples. And we find out in the season 13 episode Chums that Plankton flushes all of his unsold chum down into the sewers, where it later mutates into sentient beings.
You create us when you flush chum into sewer from your upside domain.
You mean the Chum Bucket?
Yes,
This means that pretty much all of the chum we see in the show is at least somewhat freshly produced, and it's not just him having a stash.
You know, it's remarkable how Chum goes bad every week right on time.
And in other episodes we see Plankton with crazy amounts of this shit, having to hide chum since it has gotten rotten in Plankton's old chum.
Guess I've gone to this well once too often.
Going into this video, I thought there was absolutely no way that Plankton would be able to afford any of the stuff in the Chum Bucket, but I was kinda surprised by how many episodes he's actually making his restaurant successful in, if only for a short time. I would still say we have seen him spend way more on failed plans than one rush of customers every other season could finance, but he at least has had some income in the show.